7:45.
They got 6.
Hey, how you say this is Walden? Wayland. Sue Wayland. All right. Ms. Duncan? Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the Lansing Board of Trustee meeting to order, 6 o'clock on May 18th, 2026. Ms. Duncan, can you do roll call, please?
Terry Frazier.
Here.
Noel Garcia.
Here.
Hope Lavelle.
Present.
Angie Matthews. Robert Proctor.
Here.
Chatham Taylor.
Present.
LaShonda Thomas. Here.
All right. All right. And if we could have Trustee Taylor do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a moment of silence for Ms. Sue Weldon and Ms. Duncan. If you could say a little about who she is and why we're doing a moment of silence.
Sure. A moment of silence for Margot Sue Whalen, who passed away last week. Her service was last Friday. There were a few of us that were able to attend. It was a beautiful service. Margot worked here at the college for many years. She was actually a student here, for those of you that know her. And she was very active in the community, volunteering. And she just was an all-around good person. She served many people. She served Tony Glasgow. And in her later career here at LCC, she served Dr. Lisa Webb-Sharp, who was the Executive VP of Administration. And so I just wanted to take a moment of silence just to remember her and her family. Thank you.
Well. Hello, LCC family. If you don't know, I am not Trustee Matthews. We're going to have a different type of, as you can see, also our President Robinson is in attendance, so we have some extra piece. So while Mom and Dad are away, the kids are going to have a good time. So please work with us, enjoy. But we're going to keep this party rolling. Maybe my phone goes off. So, but also seriously, with our passing of a colleague, just keep her in mind, and also her family. The days aren't promised to any of us, so let's just continue to reminisce and enjoy every day we're able to wake up and say hello to somebody. So, if you see somebody, give them their flowers so they get to smell them. All right. We're going to keep this party going with me. Let's see, where we at? We're going to do approval of minutes. So, trustees, the regular approval of the regular minutes for April 20th, 2026.
I motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Second by Trustee Taylor. All right. And all those, and can we have roll call?
Robert Proctor.
Aye.
Noel Garcia.
Excuse me, aye.
LaShonda Thomas.
Aye.
Angela Matthews. Chatham Taylor.
Aye.
Terrence Frazier.
Aye.
Hope Lavelle.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. All right. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Motion to accept the agenda? Yes, thank you, sir. Support by Garcia. All right, roll call.
Chatham Taylor.
Aye.
Robert Proctor. Hope Lavelle. Noel Garcia. LaShonda Thomas. Angela Matthews. Terrence Frazier.
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right. Okay, next section is limited public comments regarding agenda items. Are there any public comments?
I
Ms.
didn't
Duncan?
have anyone that signed up, and there's no one on the
Okay.
dais that signed up.
In the
this
wait.
either.
Nothing online?
No, nothing online.
Bet. All right. We'll go right into President's Report. We'll have a special, President's Report, Representative.
Thank you, Vice Chair Frazier. So for those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Selena Samuel, and I serve as the Senior Vice President for Business Operations here, and Dr. Robinson asked me to fill in for him while he's not here today. So what I'm going to do is start the President's Report in the same way that Dr. Robinson normally does, which is acknowledging that we do have a written. So I encourage people to make sure every month when these come out that you take a look at them. This particular one, we've got some interesting things in there related to student success. If you look on page 8, there is information on our film students and their success at a local film festival, so you might want to check that out. And then we also have on page 21 a conversation about our program in a minute. And if you haven't seen our programs in a minute, they're really excellent. You can just go to lcc.edu and type in program in a minute, and you can learn about the different programs that we have here at LCC. And then also on page 34, you'll see some information about Chair Matthews and some of the work that she did with our Take Your Child to Work Day. And you'll also see on page 37 information on Trustee Thomas and her work with our Office of Empowerment and our WISE program. And then on page 34, you'll also see a note about Miss Benita Duncan, who provided a presentation to our executive assistants at Professional Development Days. And she did such a wonderful job that we got rave reviews on that. So I wanted to point those things out. But there's plenty of things in the President's Report. We can't possibly talk about everything that we've done as a college over the course of a month, but those are just our highlights.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that report and all the great things happening at LCC. I want to just highlight, I love the idea of taking your child to work. There's an African proverb that talks about they greet each other, how are the children? And if you say the children are well, then you know the community's well. So I'm always highlighting when I see kids doing good, that means we're doing well as a society, and LCC is doing well. Both our kids and also our students are doing well. So LCC is doing well. So congratulations to the administration and my fellow trustees for doing a great job. So, go ahead.
All right, so there's a couple more things in the President's Report, and this truly is Dr. Robinson's report. So the first thing we want to share is that Dr. Robinson is a part of the Global Community College Leadership Network, and this network is really a network of 20 community college CEOs. You can't just join the network because you want to be in the network. You have to be invited to be in the network, and Dr. Robinson was invited in 2021, and fast forward to 2025, he actually was elected as treasurer for this organization. They are right now this month having their spring conference in England, and that is where he is. This particular network is something that Dr. Robinson credits with connecting him to our commencement speaker this May, Miss Dr. Pollard. And Dr. Pollard spoke at our commencement as our featured speaker, and if you were there, you would see that the students were engaged. They were connected, they were participating in a meaningful way, and sometimes you don't get that, so it was an excellent thing to be part of. Also, we saw presentations from our chair, Matthews, and also from Trustee Thomas during that time, and all of our trustees who were there were able to take turns shaking hands of about 400 people that were receiving their certificates, and that 400 is a number that we're proud of. Kudos to all of our faculty, our success coaches, our advisors, our counselors for all the work that you've done to get those students to that point. I'd also like to acknowledge that at that commencement, we were able to introduce our mascot, Lance, to the world, not just the LCC community in general, but the world, and it was really cool how it was done, so hopefully you were able to see that. A big thank you to Lane Ingram for making that happen. And one thing I will say about our commencement, I think it gets better and better every year. Commencement is coordinated by Kelly Heckler in our administrative services area, so big support and appreciation for her. Also for Mark Smith and our media services team, they're always there and on point with everything. And then our student affairs area supported by Dean Miller, that particular area, especially the registrar's office, they spent a lot of time working on commencement. So thank you to all of you for everything that you do.
Can we give a round of applause to all the people? Graduation was amazing.
All right, so as we go to slide 4, What I'd like to do is share an update on capital outlay. And so many of you may know that in September and again in August, the administration brings a capital outlay plan to the Board of Trustees for review and approval. And a part of that plan is a project request that we're submitting to the state of Michigan. And what we do is we identify a project that we know that as a college, we don't have the capital right now to complete that project on our own. So we request for support from the state of Michigan. And then there's a 50-50 match if we are selected. So we've been notified that the most recent submission that we did in 2025 received the third highest score of all the submissions from community colleges last year. And so with that in mind, if there is capital outlay funding in the FY27 budget, then there's a chance that LCC would be able to receive some of those funds. Of course, this is an update. We will know more as we get closer to the end of the year, but we can't say for sure that we have that money. But we always want to acknowledge it because it is a really good thing for us to be in the mix. And a big thank you to Executive Director Dr. Chris McCursey of our Administrative Services area for putting it together, and Dean Shanta Dwyer and Provost Welch for all of their work, because that was excellent to be number 3 out of all of the things that were submitted. And on the next slide, we'll continue with an appropriations update, but this is more so on the federal level. So we have 2 legislators that has presented to the House and to the Senate $1 million line item budget to support what we do here at LCC. And they're specifically looking at supporting what we're doing in tech careers and what we're doing in health and human services. And similar to the state of Michigan, there's a budget process. You've got to get through the House, you've got to get to the Senate, and you've got to get to the president in order to get that signed. So we are at the early stages of it, but we're very excited to be able to share with you that we do have bipartisan support for what we do here at the college. So a big thank you to Representative Barrett and Senator Peters for their support of this college. Similar to the state situation, we may not know about whether we officially will receive those funds until the end of the year or possibly the beginning of next year. But that is normal. It's a process and we just have to wait. But we just appreciate LCC being in the mix of that. The next thing that I'd like to share with you is about Pedal with the Prez. For those of you who've been here for a couple years, you've seen that Dr. Robinson does Pedal with the Prez every month during the summer months. Well, this time he's doing something a little different. He's going to have one big event, and he's calling it the Big Ride. And we're hoping that we can have about 50 riders that will join Dr. Robinson on this bike ride. It will be June 10th at 6 p.m. The first 20 people to go to lcc.edu and register for the event will receive a t-shirt, and everybody that participates will also receive a special gift. It's a surprise gift, so can't tell you what it is, but they'll receive a gift. And then they will also receive ice cream, which will be a treat from Dr. Robinson at the end of that ride. So sign up. The next thing that we want to do is acknowledge our colleagues who may have been joined the college recently. We call it a star is hired. Many of you know that Dr. Robinson always breaks bread with our new employees, but he also extends an invitation for them to come here and introduce themselves to the college community as a whole and to the Board of Trustees. So if we have anyone whose name is listed on here today who would like to introduce yourselves, to say your name, where you work, we welcome that opportunity for you. So we'll pause, and if there's anyone here that would like to do that, you're welcome to stand and be recognized. All right, welcome.
Go ahead. Hold on, we're going to get the mic so people can hear you online.
There we go. Hi, I'm Jeremy Neefus. I work in community education and workforce development.
Wow, thank you. Very nice to meet you. And a warm welcome to all of our new hires over the past couple months. We appreciate you and we look forward to getting to know you. And now, as some of you may know, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so in the spirit of mental health awareness, we really want to talk about what we are doing here at Lansing Community College to support our students. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Sally Welch, who will introduce our presenters for the day.
Thank you. We appreciate the opportunity to present this to the Board of Trustees, and I ask that Jim Owens comes forward.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me talk about what has become my life's work and that of my colleagues here, Louise Rabidou, Carlotta Uri-Harris. We are a team of 6 counselors, and we're very excited to be able to tell you what we're doing here on campus. So I've got a slideshow here for you. Myself, we just hired a new counselor, James Rogers. We have an MSU intern with us this school year. She's been with us all year. She's been my intern, Sarah Cruz, and we've just recently hired an online telehealth service for our students to get after-hours help. So that's kind of our staff right now. It's grown over the last several years. There's a reason for that. The need has grown. This UWIL service that we've hired on for a year, they offer not only after-hours counseling, but non-English speaking options for some of our students. We are a traditional 8 to 5 office, although crises can keep us here past that, of course. But for students who need that, we have non-traditional students here. They need services sometimes on Saturday or in the evening. They can use this service that we've got now. So we're kind of piloting that this year, and we hope students take advantage of that. So I want to tell you what we do, and then I'll give you kind of a description of what we're dealing with. We obviously do individual counseling. We are therapists. We are licensed master social workers. We are licensed professional counselors, and we do individual counseling every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. That's the main thing that we do here at the school. We also go out into the classrooms at orientations, talk to students about the challenges and the stressors in being a college student and the support services that we have here for them. We also participate in campus wellness events that are, partnerships with other departments on campus. We do quite a bit of crisis counseling, which is to be described as students just showing up in a meltdown, breakdown, panic, and other terms, which I won't use here, just out of courtesy to those in the room. But there are all manner of crises, and we have to, in fact, we have a great partnership with our law enforcement here on campus who help us escort students to other services when that's needed, if you follow me. We also help protect the campus with a huge team under Ben Trell's leadership, the CARES team, which was formerly known as BIT, the Behavior Intervention Team, but now it's called the CARES team. We take care of students who are breaking down under the stress of the school or sometimes entertaining violent thoughts toward our community. And the mental health counselors sit on that team to make sure that our campus is safe. We also, of course, partner with CMH, hospitals, other area places around the city that students can receive mental health support. So that's what we're doing Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. What kind of things do we see? We see what's out there, which is anxiety and depression. Those are the 2 biggest things. When I was teaching, I told my students, 80% of what you're going to see in the office is anxiety, 20% is depression, the rest is the rest, okay? It's a lot of those 2 things primarily. But they're all related to academic stress, burnout, trauma. Basically everything kind of falls under trauma, frankly. I know we have at least one mental health clinician on the board who understands that very well. There's a lot of relationship, family conflict. We have substance abuse, although not a ton of that on campus do we see, frankly. A lot of grief and loss because people go through their life just like anything else. Things happen while you're a student. And then, of course, we do deal with crises, as I highlighted earlier. So those are the kinds of things we're seeing. Let me describe for you the percentages that we see in colleges across the country. Our demographic isn't that wildly different than what we see at national averages, so I used those here. There was a great big study done on this. 84,000 students in that study, so that's at N equals 84, it's pretty good. What do we see? Now I want to point out something here, these 4 things, depression, anxiety, loneliness, and non-suicidal self-injury. It's big numbers, and this is not mild depression as some CDC might report. Sometimes the CDC reports, well, people have a little bit of depression. No, this is moderate to severe depression. This is higher level depression. It's 37%, more than a third. More than about a third have moderate to severe anxiety. These are college students of all ages. Half of them feel lonely. Lonely is not being alone. Lonely is wanting to be in a community and not having a community. And that's a huge problem. And we hear about it in our offices every week. And we're doing everything we can to try to help mitigate that. So it's serious. And it's so serious that people are actually harming themselves to deal with the pain of loneliness or depression or anxiety. There's just too much of that. And I didn't want you to believe or think that it's a minor kind of thing. It's 20% of college students are harming themselves to deal with the stress that they're under. So it's significant. What kind of impact does mental health have for college students? Hard to track outcomes sometimes, but for what we've got here, again, from the Healthy Minds study, 75% of students who graduate say mental health support on campus helped them do that. So that's wonderful to hear as somebody who's in the business and has been for a long time. 2/3 or roughly will say that they have poor mental health while they're in college. Many of us can probably relate to that. And the number one reason cited for why students drop out of college, and it's 47% of the students surveyed, was mental health concerns. It wasn't financial concerns. It wasn't academic concerns. And I can tell you this from having been a professor myself of 20 years and a counselor for 25, that's the big thing. It's the mental health challenges that they're facing. So our school is honestly doing a very good job of taking care of our students. We've invested a lot of human resource capital into helping support students in these conditions. So the last thing I want to share is just a couple of numbers. What are we doing? How many numbers or how many students are we seeing? I've got some updated data, but the most recent deep dive we did was in the year 2024, calendar year 2024. We had over 1,500 completed counseling sessions, or over 50 immediate need crisis counseling sessions, which is more than one a week. Most of our students still prefer in-person counseling. We offer virtual. They can certainly see us virtually, even though we're on campus, but it's about a 60-40 split there. So most still want to come in and see us. So that's kind of a picture of where we're at. I want to thank you for having some time to share what we're doing in office. I'm certainly entertain any questions if you have those.
Thank you so much. Does any of my colleagues have questions? Trustee Proctor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sir, can you give me a garden level description of the terms depression and anxiety? I think I can figure out.
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. Depression sometimes is confused as being sad, but it's not. Depression is a lack of feeling. The technical term for it, and I will try to give you a general sense here, but I have to use Greek a little because that's kind of some of our philosophical antecedents. The primary symptom would be something called anhedonia. Hedonia meaning hedonism, joy, pleasure. Anhedonia means the inability to feel anything, frankly, to feel good or bad. That's the main symptom I would describe as depression. It looks like not being able to get out of bed, do the things that are meaningful to you, or participate in meaningful things, but they don't feel like they're meaningful anymore. That's how I would describe depression. Anxiety is your central nervous system on overload because it's just overwhelmed in a fight or flight kind of response because of an incapacity to manage all of the stresses that are coming in.
Thank you.
Yes.
One further question.
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Chair. What percentage of those needing assistance are not being served?
Good question. I wish I had an answer to that. I'd like to find that out. There is ways that we could get those kinds of answers. We'd have to do a big survey to find out. We've tried some surveys before to find that information out for our student population who's looking for help and not getting it. We probably could do a better job of getting that information. We can still work on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other questions? Trustee Lavelle?
Thank you so much for this presentation. I have a couple of questions. How many sessions can you all hold with students? I don't know if you're long-term counselors, like a private therapist. Kind of, can you give some feeling around how many sessions you all can provide? And then do you work with professionals in the community to make sure that there's a continuation of care?
We do. We do not limit the number of services that a student can receive for counseling here. The reason we do that is for a couple of different reasons, but one of which is we don't limit how many tutoring sessions you get. We don't limit how many advising sessions you can get. We just don't limit student services here. But it's also, as you well know, building an alliance with a client takes time, and to do real good, meaningful work, it can take more than sometimes colleges will have 3 to 10 sessions they limit students to. And that's because of their resources and maybe that's all they can offer. We actually can do better than that here. I'm proud of that fact. But yeah, we still offer referrals out. We don't have anybody in particular that we partner with because we cannot show bias anywhere. So we just basically reference to wherever, students, we help them find places that might be a good fit for them based on their location or something. Yeah.
My last question is, any obstacles or challenges that you all face that you'd like to share today?
No, I'm very proud actually of our staff are very resilient. We've all been doing this a long time. I added it up. Between the 3 of us, there's 95 years of service at this college.
Oh.
And we're pretty good at managing the compassion fatigue, the vicarious trauma that we're exposed to in this work. We have great support. I'm not just saying this to get me any credit. I'm retiring in a few months. But we have great support from the provost to my dean, Dr. Rhonda Miller, to my associate dean, Dr. Felipe Lopez Estaida. And all the way up to Dr. Robinson, every time we've asked for help or support, we've gotten it. We've been given professional discretion to do what we think is best for students. It has been a wonderful place to work, especially as a mental health professional. I've never had anybody telling me how to do my job. They've trusted me to do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yep. Trustee Chattel. Trustee Taylor.
I I thank you for doing this presentation. I've been actually looking forward to it because we know that this is it is a need. It's a pandemic, if you will, right? And we also know that it is the central to students completing school. And so what I did, and I've spoke about this before, is when we did our trip in New Orleans, a conference, I had the pleasure of sitting in one of the sessions, and Trillis Strategies was the survey company that they used to talk about these different areas. And I understand we use something different in Style now, but I'm going to focus on awareness and then also loneliness, okay? Because that was big. But I looked it up just for myself, but awareness, I understand that we offer so many, like the counseling services and things like that. And I'm so glad we do. But these are just some numbers that I found, okay? Because it was kind of interesting. So nearly a quarter of students, and this is the national survey, were unaware of available resources on campus. So what that means is out of 92% of institutions surveyed in 2025, this was 2025, including us, offer some form of mental health counseling and services, but 25%, nearly a quarter of students really just don't, they're unaware of what is offered. So I was actually glad to see that the classroom and faculty presentations happen, and also the campus wellness events. I'd like to come to one actually, and then the crisis counselings and things like that. So my first question is, how often does that happen, and how are they made aware of that stuff so that they were being proactive to get them to this stuff?
We really try hard, and marketing does a good job if you've been on campus to advertise counseling services. We have messages all around campus that say, don't trust AI, talk to a real therapist. Almost all of the faculty and staff who've been here a while will shepherd students over to us when they're decompensating. They know where to bring them to. And it is the case that sometimes students say, I didn't even know this was here. We are out very publicly on campus as often as we can. We have a huge sign out in front of our door, even though we got the little counseling office sign, but we've got a big one that just kind of advertises. We're right next to the Commons. So a lot of students should be able to see that we have a big counseling office there. But again, some students show up to us and they think counseling, they think guidance counseling, they think high school counselor. And so, we're doing a better job, I think, of marketing ourselves as mental health counselors. That's what we do. That's our title. But there's always more we can do in terms of, getting a public presentation to the community about that. Yeah.
How often do you do?
We do wellness events probably every couple of months, and then we're in campus classrooms at orientations at the beginning of the year, not just general orientations, but we go to the specific nursing orientation, dental hygiene, et cetera. We go to West Campus, kind of on the academic rhythm. So really we're busy at just before the semester's launch. And then we try to do things at like a big event outside in the fall and a big event outside in the spring to be very visible. We try not to hide away in the building anywhere. We really try to do things out on Washington Mall to be visible. So I would say we do 3 or 4 of those probably a year. And then the campus presentations in classrooms, probably half a dozen to a dozen.
Just my last question on loneliness.
Yeah.
So to see that number so high, 52%, that was very interesting, but I could see it, right? And so when I thought about it, and then when I kind of did my own research, I'm looking at, so this is a community college, so obviously we have different demographics that come to LCC. We got the 18 to 21-year-old, who could probably have just graduated high school and they were lonely in high school. And so now they come here, they take the survey, you know what I mean? And they're still lonely, whatever reason they were in high school. But then you have, the returning adult or the adult student who's 21 to 45, if you will, maybe 35, 45, to not know the true ages, but, they could be going through something way different in life. They maybe just got divorced. They maybe just, whatever the loneliness, whatever, brings them to that point. How can we, do you believe, I guess, that we should have some kind of information like that, just so that we can have a dedicated effort in some areas, right? Like, we're really focused on certain things and how we're reaching some of those
Yeah, it's a big focus for us, I think, in the upcoming year, potentially offering, mental health support groups where we can get groups of people together, but doing more community affinity groups through student life, more clubs and organizations. I went to college here myself in the 90s. It was a commuter school back then because the parking ramp was charging us for every minute we were in that thing. So we were trying to get out of here as quick as we can. Dr. Knight did away with that. People can hang out more. They can socialize more. It hurts me that we're a community college and our students are lonely. It really shouldn't be that way. And there are a number of ways in which we can do this, not the least of which is faculty doing group work in their classrooms. I did that a lot as a professor to get my students to talk to each other and build a community and get their study buddy. So there's a lot of ways to do this, not just in the counseling office, but across our culture as a community college. I think there's room to do it in the academic classroom as well as, clubs and other student support services.
Personally think it's the phone. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of the social media and stuff has really brought people to a point where they feel they have to fit in.
Yeah.
And so even if this is just, I don't know, Chad, I'm thinking of an idea, but even if we did some kind of service or something that's socially disconnect kind of event, right? Where you don't bring your phone, you don't bring anything, not your laptop, nothing, and you mingle and you sit and you play games. I don't know, but because I went here myself, obviously, and we had something like that in the, I remember in the commons area where the cafeteria is now, and there was a TV in that room and people just sat and talked and, felt a sense of community, if you will. So, but thank you so much for
Thank you
your
very much.
presentation.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I was excited about this too. I've been waiting. You did a presentation before, so I've been waiting since that.
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate your patience.
Absolutely. I am a therapist, so I understand the need and exactly what you said. And I know how serious this is. And with 75% saying that mental health helped, which we know, I wonder what a day looks like for your services. And I know she kind of alluded to, how many sessions are you able to fit into a day?
Okay.
And then if someone made an appointment, I know you take walk-ins, but if they made an appointment, how long would they have to wait to be seen?
A year ago, I would have said they wait in 3 weeks. And that's half the national average. Now it's less than that because we've grown our staff a bit, having an intern and having hired another additional full-time counselor. It's not 3 weeks. It's probably closer to 2 weeks, but we try to see 5 clients a day if we can. We have some contract obligations to other committee things and stuff like that. So we don't do 40 hours and 40 sessions in a week. But 5, as you may know, is a heavy load for a day anyway for a therapist. It can be, depends on the type of work you're getting. And then having a crisis person come in and you don't eat a lunch, and that happens 1 or 2 days back to back, then you're starting to get into trouble with your own resiliency. So we try to pad in a little bit of time for that and to be available. But I'm proud of the work that we do and the numbers that we have. Again, we could always do more, but I think this year, having hired a new counselor, an additional staff person, taking in an intern, we're trying to find out what our capacity is. If we were to advertise more, we may get even more. We could advertise even better.
And thank you for that. I have missed lunch on many of these.
Yes.
Okay, I understand that. So you're saying that you guys each, there's 3, 4 now? There's 4 counselors?
There are 6 of us altogether counting our intern. There's 5 full-time counselors now, just 5 full-time counselors, yeah.
So there is no permanent counselor. You do switch. You'll have to just see who's available at the time, right?
When you come in for a crisis, yeah, you have to see who's available, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my question was, could you explain UWIL a little more?
Yeah.
And the services it offers?
UWIL is a service that's used by probably 100 colleges and universities from the East Coast to the West Coast, from Ivy League public colleges, private colleges. They're an online service that link, because of licensing rules, you have to do counseling. Your license is only good for the state in which you are physically present and for the client is physically present. So they have counselors all over the place, all over the country. But it allows students to get online immediately to a licensed counselor when they're even in crisis or if they want to have a same-day session. UWIL is an online service. Students get into it through an app or set up an account to be able to log in and schedule counseling sessions with a licensed counselor. So unlike hotlines or crisis numbers students could call where they might get a paraprofessional, with UWIL, they're getting a licensed therapist just like myself and yourself. And then they can follow up with that person and continue. That could be their therapist. UWIL is it just, yeah, it's a kind of relatively new service. I'm not sure how old that community is or that organization is, but it's very popular. It's used in the state of Michigan. I know U of M uses it. Western Michigan University uses it. We, of course, use it. I can't remember any other colleges in Michigan, but there's plenty around the country to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Last question.
Yes.
In a perfect world, I know you said you get your needs met.
Yeah.
Is there a need for this department to help our students, especially since this was number one in the needs analysis?
Yeah, to be a community college means that we're going to meet students where they're at. That's how I've always perceived of our philosophy. We're right here, street level, come on in, we're going to meet you where you're at. And because they're presenting with mental health concerns and our society is not set up to meet them in many other places, but we are, I think our services go a long way, not only to serving directly our students, but we provide support to the academics in the classroom who themselves decompensate when the student is decompensating because they're frantic about how to help this person who's breaking down, and they've got us to back them up. So I think it gives our academics and our support staff a bit of support, knowing that we've got therapists on campus, but then directly the service that we provide to students, I think, is invaluable. Were I the president, would I increase the number that we had here and so on and so on? I would do what we're doing right now, add them on and see how one counselor at a time, and let's see where capacity is at as we can manage the resources that the community's entrusted us with. Let's see what we can do. Maybe we can do more. Maybe there's a bigger need.
Thank you. Thank you guys for your services.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you.
Are there any other questions for health services, mental health? All right. Before you go, I want to just give a couple of comments as well.
Please.
First, I'm happy to hear that the waiting list is low and you're doing a great job as someone who works in higher ed and mental health, and appreciate all you all do. And the other piece of it is just that sense of belonging. And I think that's one of the things we have to do as a community college, is making sure everyone is seen, heard, and know they could thrive at our university. So it's just not your office that's responsible for that, but it's institutionally, we have to continue to put that message across. And the second message is it's okay to get help. You know, we got to be able to make that it's not a stigma, that is something that you're off or you need, you're weak if you go get counseling, you're strong if you go ask for help. So I want to encourage that to both our students, our faculty and staff, that we all, and my board up here as well. So we all need a little help every once in a while. So I appreciate everything you guys are doing. So thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
Is that all for the report? Give a hand round of applause. Sorry. My only other comment off the president's report is, as you notice, they talked about the funding from the state and the federal government. That's so important that we're part of that mix. As we all know, people's priority where they put their money. So people believe in LCC and they're starting to put money into us. So let's continue the great work. So congratulations to your administration on that piece as well.
Oh.
All right. That's all for the president's report? For sure?
Yes, that's all for the president's report. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. All right, moving on in our agenda, we are at consent agenda items. Yes, Trustee Proctor.
How did you know I was going to ask something?
Because I got you. I know you well. I've been on this board with you for 1.5 years, 2 years.
That's getting dangerous.
For everybody.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to remove from the consent agenda board bylaws 1 and 2 for brief amendments.
Okay, all right, so I have removing for the consent agenda bylaws 1.4 or 1 and 2, which is 1.4 and 1.5, correct?
Correct.
All right, are there any other things? Yes, Trustee.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to take out D2 temporary instructor services.
And then also remove from the consent agenda is D, number 2, temporary instructor services. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, have those. And Trustee Taylor?
I'd like to remove also D1, Midwest Collaborative for Library Services.
And we'd like to remove D1 for discussion from the consent agenda. Is that correct? All right. Any other thing we need to take off the consent agenda? Trustee Thomas.
I'd like to remove C.
And C1, all right. So I have removing from the consent agenda C1, is that correct? All right. So, Ms. Bonita, to make sure I have everything in place and on the record, I have removing from consent agenda A, board bylaws 1 and 2. I have C, 1, and I have D, 1 and 2, removed from the consent agenda.
Correct.
All right. Do we need to vote? We don't need to vote on that, do we? Removing it? No.
No, just
Okay.
go ahead and make a motion to approve the.
All right. All right, I make a motion to approve all other items on the consent agenda. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Support.
Second.
Second, support by Garcia. All right, and go ahead, do roll call.
I'm sorry, who would move that?
I'm sorry, Thompson.
Okay. Angela Matthews, Hope Lavelle,
Aye.
LaShonda Thomas, Terrence Frazier.
Aye.
Noel Garcia.
Yes.
Robert Proctor.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion carries, so we'll move on. We're gonna review board bylaws, number 1 first. So do we have a discussion?
I move the approval of item, can't remember which one it is, but it's bylaw
1.4?
And my proposed amendment is on page 40.
Can we get a second on that? That way. we
I
can
second.
for Discussion.
Second for Taylor.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Is there any discussion?
So, Mr. Chair, at page 40, the first full paragraph beginning with the words "a motion" at the end of that first line, striking the terms "at least 5" and inserting in its place 2/3. 2/3 is the statutory language with respect to the vote required to go into a closed session under certain enumerated items.
So you want to remove the number 5, but just do we said 1/3?
They remove the wording "at least" and the number 5 and insert in its place 2/3. The numerals 2/3.
Okay.
And I'm prepared to answer any other questions along with the other members of the policy committee with respect to this proposed change to bylaw 1.4.
I have a question. About
Sure.
something. It is 1.4.55, it's page 37. It's the modification or cancellation of board meeting. It's section B. A majority of votes of the Board of Trustees prior meeting. Can you give me a little explanation what that is? Or what the thought process was on that piece?
From time to time, we have reason to cancel or postpone a board meeting. Sometimes that occurs weeks, months prior to the upcoming board meeting. So the board at some of those meetings determines to postpone an upcoming meeting, and this covers that provision.
Is there a reason for the 3-day notice, or I'm just trying to, so if we had a board meeting today, we want to cancel for something else, we have to do 3 days later?
Now, the requirements under the Open Meetings Act says you do things in certain timeframes, and this is consistent with that. So if you cancel a meeting, you got to give 3 days notice prior to the new date of the meeting so that trustees as well as the public know about the upcoming meeting.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Yes.
Would
Sophia.
would that be in cases where we anticipate not having a quorum? Or,
We don't cancel a meeting in anticipating that we won't have a quorum.
okay,
The determination of whether a quorum is present takes place at the meeting itself, and that's a determination made by the person in charge of the meeting, the person chairing the meeting. And it must be in person at the meeting. None of the occasions in which has arisen on in the past where someone says, I've been contacted that X number of people will not be present at the meeting, we won't have a quorum, so it's canceled. So that determination is made at the meeting.
Any other trustees, questions or statements? Trustee Taylor?
Piggyback to, so when we met as a policy committee, in this section, the 3 days we had to kind of look it up in the Michigan compiled law, and it was stated prior to even this change, it was in the bylaws before. We just literally just changed wording and stuff like that, but that's always been the case, so.
Anything else? All right, do you have a, Ms. Sun, can we vote on this section?
Yeah, but
Okay.
there's no further questions.
There's no further question?
Second, yeah.
All right, I move that we go vote, so.
Robert Proctor.
Aye.
Chatham Taylor.
Aye.
Hope Lavelle.
Aye.
LaShonda Thomas.
Aye.
Terrence Frazier.
Aye.
Roel Garcia.
Aye.
Angela Matthews. Motion carried.
Great, thank you. We're gonna go ahead to the second item of A2, 1.5 meeting and procedure. Is there a motion on the floor?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that the proposal to amend bylaw 1.5 be approved.
Is there a second? Support from Garcia. And go ahead, open discussion.
Propose some amendments to what's on pages 43 and 44 of our board packet. Under the item 1.5.2, it's the order of business. You'll see some strike throughs, but we haven't renumbered the Roman numerals to correspond with the strike throughs. So it's making a minor technical change to the numbering of those strike through those items under the agenda. I could go through them if you'd like, but okay, thank you.
Anybody wants to go through it? I'm good. Any other comments or questions about changing, making sure we have the Roman numeral numbers in the correct order? Any other questions about that? Seeing none, I call for a vote.
LaShonda Thomas. Aye. Angela Matthews. Robert Proctor.
Aye.
Noel Garcia.
Yes.
Chatham Taylor.
Aye.
Terrence Frazier.
Aye.
Hope Lavelle.
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right, thank you so much. Moving on to consent, well, agenda item C1, virtual laptop infrastructure.
Motion to approve.
I need a motion so
Discussion.
we can discuss.
Okay.
I didn't hear anybody.
Yeah.
I move that we
I move.
approve C1 virtual desktop infrastructure.
All right, is there a second? Second, Taylor, okay. And, or Thomas, go ahead. Any discussion?
Okay, so if this is a system that we are currently using, I was wondering why it will only be through this date of June 27th, 2027, and not longer. Some of them are like 3 years, 5 years, you know. But why is this one just until next year?
I'm
Where
gonna
am I
go,
reading it?
go ahead, please.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for the question, Trustee Thomas. So it just depends on the scenario. A lot of times they're offering something that's a little bit longer term and you can get a discount, but then some of them, you're only offered that additional 1-year extension. So it just depends on the situation. And sometimes we can go back and ask for a little bit more or a little bit less, depending on what we're most interested in doing. But this is one that you typically see annually. Yep, you're going to see it around this time next year or June, one or the other.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussions? Seeing none, I move to a vote.
Hope Lavelle.
Aye.
Chatham Taylor.
Aye.
Terrence Frazier.
Yes.
Robert Proctor,
Aye.
Noel Garcia.
Yes.
LaShonda Thomas, Angela Matthews, motion carried.
All right, thank you. Moving on, do I hear a motion for D1, no bid purchase, West Midwest Collaborative for Library Services? Motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Taylor. Motion by Thomas. And is there discussion? Yes, Taylor.
So I removed this just because I want just a little bit more information on it. Because of the dollar amount, number one, I'd like to just know exactly what it means. And if the discounted ebooks, videos, and library support, are you saying that they will no longer have any of this if we don't approve this? Because it expires June 30th, 2026. So that's coming up here. So is there like, why is it just now being presented? And does that mean that, like, what is this really, this program, just so that I have an understanding of it?
Provost answered, I believe. This your wheelhouse, right? Okay.
I think the director's here, but I'm going to start. So I saw him around. I don't know if he's still here. Okay. All right. In general sense, we have databases for e-textbooks and other things. So that's a free resource for students. Instead of having a huge collection of books that they would have to come and check out, they can go into the library area of the website and they can check out and go into the database to get, instead of buying a textbook or a resource that they need. And we spend traditionally $300,000 a year on databases. So that's about an average. I'll let John clarify it, but we spend a lot of money on databases because we have a lot of different programs and we need to cover those areas. And if we don't use this, then we have to go individually to each of these vendors and try and negotiate a deal. So this is a co-op that helps us do this a little bit faster and easier. And I'll let John answer the timing question.
Yes. My name is John Saleja. I'm the director of the library. The timing question is, this is when our databases come up for renewal. There isn't really a better explanation than that. It's the time of year when, as you already expressed, our subscription is coming up. So this is the closest board meeting to that time that we can present it to the board here.
Great, thank you. Other question, Trustee Proctor?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Do I understand that this is an annual renewal versus a multi-year contract that we might try to engage in?
Actually, this is for 2 years. So it will be this year and next fiscal year as well. And that is typically how we have done BPOs with the library and purchasing, is for 2 years.
Thank you.
Any other questions from my trustees? Comments?
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. I move for revote.
Noel Garcia, Angela Matthews, Chatham Taylor.
Aye.
LaShonda Thomas, Robert Proctor.
Aye.
Hope Lavelle.
Aye.
Terrence Frazier.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Next one, no bid purchase, temporary instructor services.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
So move.
Moved by Trustee Lavelle. All right, discussion?
Yeah, I just like to get a better understanding. It looks like we're obviously in a situation where we don't have enough instructors. And over $250,000 is being set aside to fill that gap. Can somebody explain that a little bit better?
Provost?
I'm going to ask Dean Dwyer to come up to the podium and team. It's been very difficult to hire, and we're not able to offer without certified instructors for this particular area, but I'll let them answer and do it in detail.
As Provost Welch stated, it has been very difficult. Thanks. Thank you.
has been very difficult to fulfill these positions. And part of the reason is due to the pay of the industry. For line workers, they make a lot of money. Thank you. And then as well as we have worked with HR in regards to trying to target the instructors for the line worker program, but we have had no success. We have had a posting out there for almost a year. Okay, for almost a year with no applicants whatsoever. So yeah, it has been very hard. So we have been looking at what other colleges have done, which have used a third-party contractor for temporary reasons, you know, in hope of still keeping our posting open so that we can fill the positions. So if we don't utilize the temporary agency at this time, it will affect our operations in the line worker program.
And so this no bid purchases for 3 semesters and one year entirely, right?
1 year, yep.
Is this our second year doing this, or?
This is our first time doing this, yeah. Mhm.
And is this, so am I right in thinking that that program is being expanded with facilities, right?
We would like to, but due to the shortage of nobody ever applying, you know, we cannot do that at this time, correct?
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Trustee LaBelle?
Thank you for adding some clarity, Dean Dwyer. I
Mhm.
guess my question is around the budget. So with us, you know, bringing on a temp agencies, the cost per hour is generally higher
Yes, they are.
than, you know, what you would pay if you had that person as an employee. So do you think going down the line, there's going to be additional costs related to operating this program that we should be prepared to think?
Not additional costs, but as far as the temporary agency pay, yes, that part, yes,
Okay.
because they
But the
do.
cost to operate the utility line worker program is going up, right?
As far as course
the budget.
fees, budget, so was that going up? No, not that we know of, that,
Oh, okay.
so, sorry.
Well, no, I'm just wondering, is this increasing the budget unexpectedly, given that we've got
Oh,
an increased expenditure here
Yeah.
to have to pay for the temp agency?
It
It
won't
will-
impact the course fees for this year
Okay,
because we've already had those set by the Board of Trustees, so there's no impact for the students this year. Don can tell you where the money's coming from for the program. The goal is really, the goal is to do this just for 1 year.
Yeah.
We really need to hire people in, and we're just struggling to find a way to get them in.
okay.
All
And
right.
as far as the increased costs are concerned, I can't give you a number on that, but the loss of the enrollment would outweigh the increased cost. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to teach the sections, and we're not going to have the revenue from those sections. So, and that puts puts the program in jeopardy.
So, but with the additional people that we're going to bring on through this temp agency, will that allow us to admit additional students? Yes, yes, okay.
We would operate as normal for the program, so we'd have a new incoming class potentially in the fall semester. There are 5 classes that are part of the program that we need help with. The rest of it, we can do ourselves through our other faculty in the area.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Trustee Proctor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Dean Dwyer. I thought I heard you say that there are other schools having the same kinds of problems. How many other community colleges in Michigan offer the same kind of program for line worker training?
so right now I know of, that's going through the temporary agencies.
No, just that offer the kind of program we're
Oh,
talking
I
about.
believe there's,
And then we could get to what they're doing to
okay,
take care of what I discern to be an instructor shortage?
I believe there's 3, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 other? Okay, 2 other that is doing it, and that's Jackson College as well as, I can't remember, Alpena.
Gabic, is that one of them?
No, Alpena.
Alpena, okay.
No.
So they're having the same problem.
I know currently that Jackson College currently goes through this temporary agency services right now for their line worker program. And this is where we had heard about about the Alpha and Omega service utility training. So we also reached out to them as well to see if they can help us.
How much could we increase our enrollment in this line worker training program if this proposal is approved?
So the enrollments is not even an issue because our line worker program stays full already. I mean, I believe we have had people on the wait list too, Nicole. Yeah, so we have already had people on the wait list. So the program is already booming. We just need to have the instructors.
I construe that to mean we could have some more students enrolled if we had the
Yes,
staff
if we
to
had the staff,
train them.
not really, because we are at capacity for our students.
But you got a waiting list.
But we have a waiting list. But even if we had the instructors, we still are already at the capacity.
Go ahead,
Am I
Provost. You gotta.
Okay.
There's other competing factors with it. So there's some pre-classes that the students have to take in electrical. That's what would prevent us from moving forward with adding another cohort. We already have approximately 92% of the beginning electrical classes are covered by the line worker program. Then all of the rest of the programs that need electrical have to squeeze in that 8%. So we have a bottleneck in the beginning that we couldn't add another cohort later on, if that makes sense.
I think I got it.
All right, any other questions? Seeing none, I'll put a motion to vote or move for a vote.
Chatham Taylor,
Aye.
LaShonda Thomas,
Aye.
Robert Proctor.
Aye.
Noel Garcia,
Aye.
Angela Matthews, Hope Lavelle,
Aye.
Terrence Frazier.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate all that. So I think we're done with all the consent or agenda action items. We'll move on to trustee-generated ideas and initiatives. An update from the visitors access. Who's giving the update for that? Yep, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. So we are pleased to announce that concerning the TGI for vendor access, we've completed everything that the college said that we would do. And one of the things we're really proud of is the new visitors website. That's something that our marketing department put together, and it's really well done. And so if you have an opportunity to take a look at it, please do. We have our access doors that we committed to providing an intercom system and a camera. We have all those installed. And even as recently as Friday, somebody let me know, hey, I didn't have my ID and I pushed the button and I was able to get in without an issue, and they were so excited. So I just want to say that everything that the college committed to, we were able to do. And that's a big thank you to our Executive Director of Administrative Services, Dr. Chris McCursey, and also our CIO, Bill Garlick. They worked together to make sure this was done. So we appreciate you all.
All right, so all our community people can get in and get going with us. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, Trustee Taylor. Trustee Taylor, go ahead.
I just want to say how grateful I am for the administration team. You listened and you did this in such a way that really, I don't think there was any disruption, I guess, on campus or anything like that. Probably not any additional costs or anything like that. I mean, I think it's amazing, and it speaks to how much we really, all of us care about the safety and of our students and stuff like that. So, and I actually did check the website out, And it was pretty cool. Yeah, so I just want to say thank you again.
Our pleasure.
All right, moving on to monthly monitoring reports. We have the monthly financial statements.
Correct. Thank you, Chair. We have our wonderful CFO, Mr. Don Wilski, who's here, and he can speak to the monthly financial statements. And I believe if there are any questions from our trustees, then Mr. Wilski is prepared to respond to those. Mr. Wilski?
Just a few brief comments. We are doing well this year, primarily due to two reasons on the revenue side. That enrollment is up over the prior year. And right now, that's approximately $3.2 million. And keep in mind that the tuition rate this year is the same tuition rate it was last year. So that indicates, again, the enrollment piece of it. Also, as far as our interest income is concerned, we had anticipated that the Federal Reserve was going to be lowering rates a little quicker than they have been. And so we are currently earning more than we had budgeted on the rates. Obviously, that's one that's very difficult to predict. And so we're enjoying the fact that from that standpoint that the rates haven't fallen. Of course, on the other side, that also means that things that we're buying are more expensive. So, but overall, we are doing well.
Questions? Trustee Proctor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Wilski, any estimate as to what our fund balance will be at the end of this fiscal year?
This is deja vu all over again. I think, given the fact we have a 1% contingency, so that's kind of a quote unquote given. We'll be probably somewhere about 1.5 to 2 million bottom line. Again, about 1.5 of that is the contingency itself. So we will add to fund balance. Of course, contingency is basically a way for us to plan to add to fund balance unless we have something that's unusual and unexpected. But yes, we should increase our fund balance slightly this year.
That's my prelude to discussion we've had over the years about modifying the governance policy to raise the question as to what ought to be the fund balance for LCC. I think the board needs to deal with that at some point.
Yeah, current policy is 15%. You might know better than I do when that was adopted. But frankly, that's very much out of date. 25% is a more reasonable number. Several years ago, we did some research on that and reported back to the board. And for the most part, we were lower than some of our comparable institutions. And so if the board policy was changed to 25%, we would be in compliance with that. I always try to look at it in terms of make it personal. How much do you want to have set aside? 3 months, which is 25%, 15%. That's a much smaller margin because you got to keep in mind this year's budget's $145 million. And as you saw from the forecast back in February, we'll probably be hitting about 150 for fiscal year 27.
Thank you.
Any other questions from my colleagues for the budget, monthly budget? Yes. Trustee Lavelle.
Hi there.
Thanks, Don. I was looking through our numbers and I see our utilities are up about 18 points. Could you speak to that and talk about our current sustainability measures? And what we're doing to get those numbers down?
Primarily, utility costs have increased over prior years. We try to estimate what rates are going to increase. That's also one that's a little difficult to predict. We work with Chris McCursey and his staff to make some reasonable estimates. in terms of what those increases might be. Also, in certain areas, increased enrollment is going to cause increased utility costs, especially as it would pertain to potentially electricity in terms of like welding programs, other programs that have enrollment increases from that standpoint. So there's multiple factors that affect that, but the rates are the primary thing.
Are we doing anything around sustainability to be more energy efficient?
So Chair Frazier, if I may, we have our Executive Director, Chris McCursey, who's here, and he's over all of our facilities, and he can share with you what we're doing from a lighting perspective, from an equipment perspective, and all those good things. Mr. McCursey?
Thank you.
So for some time now, we've been working on improving our efficiency. One of the things that we have through our energy management system is occupancy sensors in spaces so that we're not overly heating or cooling when we don't need to. Replacing standard incandescent bulbs with LEDs. So we continue to make the facilities through each construction project and minor renovation more and more efficient.
Thank you. Now, do you have a plan like or anything around that? Or like, have we went through our buildings, I mean, beyond the occupancy sensors, but like really done an assessment? A deeper dive?
So we're just about finishing putting in micrometering where we'll be able to do that and monitor much more closely the systems and the facilities to be able to do that. Some places actually do building challenges with regard to, energy reduction. But it would also impact campus culture if we do a deep dive into energy conservation. There are things that would likely change in our personal habits.
Is that in a good way or a bad way?
Depends on who you ask. Depends on who you ask.
Well, I really think that depends on if you're a trustee or you're the CFO or you're the person who really appreciates their personal hot pot.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for the budget? Seeing none. All right. Thank you. Appreciate all the reports. Thank you so much, Don. Moving on. Let's see where we at. Policy development, Board of Trustees and policy structure.
Mr. Chair, did you mention the public safety?
No.
Oh, nope. That's the one I'm missing. Public safety. Sorry, Chief. Come on up. Or
Yeah, thank you, Chair Frazier. So we do have the Chief of Police here with us today. We have our monthly monitoring report on all of our citizen contacts that we do each month, and it's our way of being transparent about the interactions that our police officers have. And so this particular report, there is one typo on there, Ms. Duncan, that will get to you. It's number 15, operating while intoxicated. We just need to correct the spelling there. But other than that, this is a good description of what we experienced over the past month. And so our Chief of Police is here if there's any questions about any specific interaction.
a lot of traffic violations, people moving around in between all the constructions. We just learned how to drive around the orange cones for the summer, that's all. All right, thank you for that follow-up, appreciate it. Thank you, Chief and staff. All right, moving on. Let me get back to policy development, Board of Trustees, policy structure. That's Proctor, is that you?
It could be if you want it to be me, but let me start with this. You have a cover sheet, and let me give credit where credit is due. Ms. Duncan prepared that synopsis of what this is about and put together this chart. Now, this stems from questions we get periodically about what is it that the policy committee does, how is it structured, and who's on it. And we do have a policy committee of the board. There are two elements of it. we've tried to characterize this as the side that deals with what we've referred to as college policy, what council advises me of. Everything is a board policy, but we've broken it down into what we think are three components. And we'll use the term college policy. This chart that you'll find at page 110 indicates what the areas of the college policies are. Those things that deal with students, faculty, and staff. We've labeled quote unquote college policies. We have a organizational matrix for that consisting of basically 6 people. The chair, a trustee, the board executive assistant liaison, and 3 members from the administration, the provost, chief financial officer, and senior VP for business operations. Periodically, we bring in subject matter experts on the subjects we're dealing with. On the other side of it is policy governance that deals with those matters involving the board's self-governance of itself. And then in the middle, board bylaws. That's primarily where we've been talking about up to now, 1.1 through 1.5. You still have 5 more bylaws to get through. Some are going to be a little easy. There'll be 1 or 2 that will involve more of your time. And then the policy governance matters really involve consideration of how we direct, evaluate the performance of the president through end statements, the executive limitations, what I call the thou shalt nots. You can do a lot of things, you have discretion, but there's certain things you better not do or you'll get in trouble. And then the governance process, again, that involves primarily the board, but the important component of it is the relationship between the CEO and the board. How do we interact in a very positive manner with the president so that we stay in our lane as the board, the administration through the president stays in its lane, and where we need to collaborate, we'll have input from the administrative side of the House. That's essentially it. I'll give all this credit to putting this matrix together to the person who developed it. I say it all the time. I'll clean it up a little bit, say the most important person here from the board's perspective, from my perspective, is Benita Duncan.
All right, thank you. Yes, and I can appreciate a good flow chart I can easily read. So thank you so much. Anything else? Jesse?
And this is only information. I'm not asking for.
Information only. Trustee Taylor?
I just wanted to, Dr. Proctor said it best. When I say Ms. Duncan has truly, truly, truly been our backbone to the committee, I mean, staying up late and even on vacations, like her past vacation, meeting with us in the evening on a day we typically don't meet, but because we take this so seriously, and I'm stressing that because we've met so much over these past months because we truly, truly, truly are trying to follow the Michigan compiled laws, but also each other. We're relying on each other to make sure that we're dotting our I's and we're crossing our T's. And Ms. Duncan is that person who's kind of keeping us in alignment seriously. So I just want to make sure I reiterate that because it means a lot. I mean, this chart alone was like, it spells it out. I mean, there shouldn't be any question at all. I mean, seriously. So thank you. And thank you for the whole policy committee, Dr. Proctor, for leading the way and stuff like that. We really are passionate about this. So.
Mr. Chair, I'll add this, and hopefully council will co-sign. Reading what, excuse me for this, the people who live in the glitter dome, as I call it, because I used to work there, come up in terms of language and legislation is baffling at best. confusing at worst. So trying to understand the Community College Act and all its variations, the Open Meetings Act, the Freedom of Information Act is not easy. I saw the council's eyebrow raise, so I think he concurs with me.
I appreciate the policy committee and all you do. I'm glad we're keeping us all above board because I don't look good behind bars. So thank you so much, policy committee. Moving on to chair report. I don't have a report from the chair written. I'm sure she will share her report at the next board meeting, but we do have a foundation report. Trustee Garcia.
Sure. So I don't know if you all heard about the fire at Chandler's Crossing Apartments. It was a pretty big fire. One of the buildings there, there's pictures of the roof just being gone. Well, it turns out that we had some LCC students living there. We're thankful that they're safe, but left with only the clothes on their back. The foundation has helped 5 students using LCC Care Fund to get the students money quickly. If you know of any other students, please let the foundation know so we can reach out to them. So that's bullet point number 1. On to something else here. New endowment, Lindsay Shevick Endowed Scholarship Fund has been created by a generous donor to support nursing students.
All right.
And then the last bullet I have is Duncan Family Trust and Duncan Aviation has again made a $5,000 donation to help our students in aviation mechanics. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you so much. I love the partnership with the foundation, so continue the good work. Any questions for a foundation report? Yes, sir.
I'm reluctant to ask this, but since there are a couple of schools that I usually go to present LCC awards, did not have students identified as recipients, Lansing Christian and Waverly High School. Is something going on there that Waverly is a fairly large school that we didn't have an award from the foundation or from the college for that matter, going to any students at those schools?
Are you talking about they receive scholarships from us?
Right.
Yeah. Kathy is, I don't know if she's online. She is? Okay. Maybe she can answer that. She wasn't sure if, she's coming from another meeting, so she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to get online. Okay.
We can look and see what time certain schools haven't had any scholarships from us.
I did notice that as well. I know I'll be presenting to East Lansing. We've had some other schools already presented their scholarships, but that's a good question.
The bulk of
Waverly?
the scholarships are foundation, the ones that like the Board of Trustees, we don't have a lot of those this year. The STAR Scholarship, I think there's maybe 1 or 2. And the divisional scholarships, there are not that many. I would say if you looked at the list, the bulk of them, like 75, 80% are all foundation scholarships. So it's those other scholarships, the divisional 1, the honors, the Board of Trustee, the STARS, and I'm probably forgetting one. Student Leadership Academy, I think there's maybe 1 or 2. The numbers are just down, so I'm not really sure what's going on.
So we could look into that and look at, my question would be, is it the number of applicants? Are they applying for the scholarship, or is it also the quality is just those schools, just the other people are just able to get them faster? So, but let's see what's happening. Great question. Okay, that's great. Anything else for the foundation report? None. Thank you so much. Moving on, there's no unfinished business so far as I'm aware of. There's no new business that I'm conscious of. All right, and we have public comments.
I don't have anyone signed up except Melissa Parley, I believe, signed up. And that's it.
All right. And public comments limited to 3 minutes, and the Board of Trustees will not be able to respond back to people. So, Ms. Duncan, you keeping the time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Patrick. Good evening, trustees. Most of you already know my name, considering this is the third month I've spoke before you. My name is Melissa Parling, and I'm a certified nursing assistant with a decade of community clinical experience. I am also a graduate of Lansing Community College's practical nursing program, and I should have been at the commencement earlier this year at the RN, but I was not, because despite my continued speaking, a correction to my grade has not been made. I'm standing here before you tonight, though, not to debate an academic grade, but to provide this board with actual notice regarding critical compliance failures, testing irregularities, and administrative misconduct that threaten the institutional integrity of this college. I want to explicitly bring to the board's attention a critical shift in federal law. Following the Supreme Court's decision on June 20th, 2025, the burden of proof in cases regarding institutional liability has been significantly lowered. The standard is no longer bad faith. It is now deliberate indifference. This means that if an institution is aware of an ongoing risk to a student's civil rights or academic rights and it fails to act, it is fully liable for federal damages. If you'd like a textbook example of this institutional liability unfolding in real time under your watch, you have to look no further than OCR case number 1526-2232, exactly 2 days after the Federal Office for Civil Rights officially opened a formal investigation into civil rights against this college. The Director of Management, J.R. Bobouf, bypassed all standard institutional channels and delivered a defensive, retaliatory determination manifesto directly to my personal email. When the head of risk management steps in to issue a gag order determination to a student's personal inbox following a federal rights civil action, it proves the administration is no longer acting within academic judgment. They are acting in defensive panic. Furthermore, these actions represent a broader pattern of institutional recidivism that directly echoes the concerns raised in LCC's 2014 resolution agreement, which the federal compliance standards. It is incredibly telling that the exact Director of Risk Management signed that federal resolution over a decade ago is the same individual deploying these identical defensive techniques today. Under the new 25 standard, repeating these exact violations while having personal actual knowledge for over a decade. Anyway, Trustee Proctor, you were on this board in 2014. You are supposed to be the institutional memory here. You look at your LCC's Board of Trustees, the bottom one, be a role model to students. And we say the Pledge of Allegiance and justice and liberty for all. Where is it? Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, there any more no more public comments? All right, seeing none, I'm going to let my colleagues do their board comments. Are there any board comments before we go into closed session? Trustee Lavelle.
Thank you. Earlier, I want to say not this month, the end of April, maybe it was earlier this month, I had an opportunity to participate in the Drone Day event that was sponsored by the FAA at West Campus, and just wanted to say what a wonderfully organized event It was, both myself and my family, including my kids, attended, and they just gleaned so much in learning about what is happening in aviation and with the drone industry. And so I just think it's so important to do these, community events, and it was very well attended. And so just kudos to the team who put that on.
Proctor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In the spirit of absolute transparency, my son attended that event. He was the recipient of one of those drones. But I had nothing to do with it. And he's been waiting for a less windy day so he can go outside again. It's quite a device, and I understand what the cost of it was. He wouldn't have even gotten that for a birthday present.
Well, thank you so much. All right. Any other trustees' comments? All right. Seeing none, no other trustee comments. If I have a motion to move to closed session, trustee Thomas.
Enter into a closed session to discuss material exempt from discussion or disclosure under state or federal law, specifically Section 8H of the Michigan Open Meetings Act and Section 13(1)G of the Michigan Freedom of Information Act. Additionally, I move to enter a closed session under Section 8E of the Michigan OMA to consult with an attorney regarding the data breach litigation case and an unfair labor practice charge filed by MEA, specifically Section 13YZ of the Michigan Freedom of Information Act.
Do I have a second for that motion?
Second.
Second by trustee Proctor. Any discussion? I'll move to vote.
Angela Matthews, Noel Garcia.
Yes.
LaShonda Thomas. Terrence Frazier.
Aye.
Robert Proctor.
Aye.
Shannon Taylor.
Aye.
Hope Lavelle.
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right, we are dismissed for closed session. Trustees, if we could be up there in the next 10 minutes, that'd be great.
And we can make it 3.
All right, 5, go.
We waiting on the others for full course. Right, get ready to go. Oh, you're welcome. They're ready to go, but
Is
they're
everybody
still up
okay?
here.
Chair happy? All right.
It may be something with her mom. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's what I kind of assumed.
Oh, she was missed
I
today.
just asked
I,
her.
um,
Text me,
like,
trust me,
yeah.
the whole meeting. Yeah,
And then the president, where's the president?
He's in Europe.
he's in Europe.
That's right, he's still on that trip.
Then my favorite.
You got 4, so you got 4.
No, we need more to sing. Yes, we're singing. Oh, hush, Patrick.
Okay, then, if you're gonna.
Here
sing,
they come.
It's gonna be good, right? You guys gonna sing well, right?
No,
What do you mean?
no. You get what you get at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I know, I ain't getting no birthday drink, I'm gonna have to go home.
Oh, you gotta get a birthday drink, birthday.
Work in the morning.
What you mean you gotta go to work? What drinking at work you gotta do?
And these are. Off. No.
Are you ready? Got it like we-
No.
I'm
I'm
just
not.
Taylor and.
Call it to order and I'll motion that we adjourn.
Strike. Now, wait.
Cause I gotta take the roll.
And I'm not saying a word. That's 3. I'm not even gonna say anything.
Thanks a lot. 58-year difference. Well, happy birthday to your grandson. He's a Taurus.
Yes.
Ready for the roll?
Want to get our meeting back together, Board of Trustee meeting, return from closed session.
The roll.
The roll for closing for adjournment, or wait, is there a motion to say happy birthday?
So move.
We gotta get.
Terrence Frazier.
We're back.
Oh, we're back.
Terrence Frazier. Noel Garcia.
Yes.
Hope LaBelle.
Aye.
Angela Matthews, Robert Proctor.
Here.
Oh.
Shannon Tate,
Aye.
LaShonda Thomas.
Present.
It's attendance. Okay.
Now we're ready.
It's a little
All
long.
right, is there a motion for happy birthday song?
Yeah.
So
Aye.
moved.
So moved.
Ready? Ready, go ahead.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh, sorry.
Everybody knows how.
Have one on me.